Chloe, what is on your face?
Beauty.
Excuse me?
What?
Why are you so cute?
Oh, it's blown like that. Did you have a nap today? I did. Well, you need one. No, I don't.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you a good girl or a bad girl?
Bad girl.
You gonna be a good boy at church?
Yeah, and bad boy at home.
Oh, great.
Why are you putting on makeup?
I don't know, baby. It makes Mommy look prettier.
Well, but I don't think it's working. That's my mom putting gas because she got no man. Hey, good girl.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to build a snowman?
No.
Oh.
Are you going to be part of the problem or part of the solution?
I'm going to be the whole problem.
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sunset Rants. I'm your host, Biddy. Oh my gosh, how freaking cute was that? I was dying over here. That was a great cold open.
Where did they get that baby video of you declaring that you're gonna be the whole problem?
That was too cute. And then the one with the brother, he's like, I don't think you had a nap today. And then the kid's looking around like about to accuse the parents of not doing their job. He's like, I think you need one. Like, no. That was so cute, man. Remember that show, like Kids Say the Darndest Things? I missed that. That's so adorable. All right, so I'm here with my host, Brian, alleged producer, but he's actually is the producer, you guys. He's the one behind the scenes, always pushing the buttons and putting together what we're going to talk about today. So please welcome him. And I see the chat's already going. So we got a bunch of stories to get to today. So just kick it off.
Yeah, it's saved myself some trouble. I preloaded this one.
Oh, sweet.
This one comes at you from Fox News. This is what I call the big story of the day. Trump takes control. Metro Police deploys National Guard to take on Washington crime. Okay, I'm going to head this one off the pass right here, right now. I know there's already people melting down, soy boys, just can't stand it because martial law. This is not martial law. Okay, there is precedent in place. There is standing congressional acts that backs up what Trump is doing, because Washington, D.C. is a federal district. And at the end of the day, the president has not only the right, but the responsibility to use whatever resources at his command to take charge. It's not martial law. Civil liberties are not being suspended. The civil courts are not being suspended. Military tribunals are not being set up. This is just the feds, Trump using the power of the federal government to back up the local DC Metro Police. That's all this is. Get my commentary out of the way up front. So we'll get into the story here.
No, it's perfect.
Trump takes control of the Metro Police, deploys National Guard to take on Washington crime. Any comparison to a war-torn country is hyperbolic and false, Washington's Mayor Muriel Bowser said Sunday. I'm going to save myself a little reading here. There's about a minute and 20 video from Fox News. This is the story. I'm just going to play that and let the commander-in-chief speak for himself.
This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is?
Size, chapter, and verse.
And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening. They've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you.
So that's what the president had to say. What say you, Biddy?
Yeah, I mean, listen, not only did he say that this is something that needs to happen when he was running for president, but everybody agrees that the crime in this country has gotten extremely out of control. And there's a whole bunch of trolls on social media saying, oh, the crime in DC is the lowest it's been in 30 years. But, they neglect to say that the numbers have been fudged once again, because, the crimes, the type of crimes and different things, they've been lowered as far as their criminality. Yeah. So they're not being reported as they should. And people that live in the area, they try to say things like that about New York. People that live in the area and walk to their corner store or, try to navigate through their city, we don't need to look at data. All we need to do is look around.
Right.
Everybody knows that the crime is absolutely terrible. The kids are getting involved in crime now. I mean, there's factions of little gangs of young children running around now. It's it's bad.
They're getting younger and younger too, and it's like they're being groomed for it. Mm-hmm. I've seen some truly sickening videos of, little kids, caught red-handed shoplifting in the dollar store, and either mama or big sister right there, oh no, my baby didn't do nothing. It's it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to think that just by not putting putting the crimes down, lowering them, the time served and different things like that is going to help people because they're not going to be put behind bars. It's obviously not working because it's making people more brazen. All they got to do is maybe put one night in prison and then they're out. They have no cash bails being thrown around. But, as you said, this is not martial law for the reasons that you cited quite eloquently. And, so people are just throwing that around because they want people to be angry about it. But, Mayor Bowser didn't only say what she said, but she also said things like, I don't think that it's legal what he's doing. It's absolutely legal. But, she can't not know that it's legal. I'm sure she knows, but they'll say things like this so that way people will run with it. We have a whole bunch of people on X I was looking at today. Let's see. We have Jasmine Crockett. She said the man in the White House wants to crack down on crime in DC. Cute. The audacity of sitting in the Oval Office with felony charges and thinking you can lecture anyone on law and order. So they're going with that. We have Richard Stengel, who's the former Undersecretary of State and Obama admin. He didn't even mobilize the National Guard on January 6th. It's another
There might
thing
be a
that's getting
slight
thrown
disruption to my sound. I just got the notification. My battery's low on my headset. Hold on just a second.
around. Oh, no worries, no worries. But yeah, like, you know, Hakeem Jeffries, violent crime in Washington, D.C. is at a 30-year low. There you go. Donald Trump has no basis to take over the local police department and zero credibility on the issue of law and order. Get lost. Yeah, he does. And there is a reason. And the reason why it's a 30-year low, you know exactly why. And then Nancy Pelosi, she came out of the woodwork. Of course, it's probably not her tweeting anyway, but she said Donald Trump delayed deploying the National Guard on January 6th when our Capitol was under violent attack and lives were at stake. So they're gonna, that's like the new lie that they're gonna keep pounding away in hopes that people jump on it. Oh, I can't hear you, love. The volume's a little low. But yeah, so officially invoking the Section 740 of the District of Columbia, which is the Home Rule Act. He does have presidential authority to do so. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I tried looking it up, but from what I found is this is the first time that it's actually been invoked since it was signed into law by President Richard Nixon in the 70s, after it passed through Congress. And it was formerly known as the District of Columbia Self-Government and Governmental Reorganization Act. It was basically established to locally elect mayor and council for DC while reserving certain emergency powers for the federal government, which is the part that Trump is basically invoking right now.
Let's see. I just found this tweet from or post, tweet, whatever.
I still call it tweet. What are you gonna say?
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
He's Xing.
From Colin Rugg, man shot near Logan Circle in D.C., just blocks from her liberal protesters who claim there isn't a crime problem protest today against Trump and his federal takeover. Man's rushed to hospital is not breathing, according to ABC.
That's crazy.
This is just what I found trending under DC on X. So what's this?
Oh, about the trade war.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, they're totally full of it. Like I said, all people need to do is look around, and they know that the crime is really bad, not only in DC, but in New York, in Chicago. And I know there's, you know, some rumors maybe that, you know, after Trump does this, that he's going to probably have his eye on these areas. But I know you said it'll be a lot harder because, you know, these aren't federal districts. It's not like the District of Columbia where you have that presidential authority a lot easier to spread around.
Let's see here. Love your intro. Oh yeah, the cold open. Yes, Dolores, that was very
Thank
cute.
you.
She got
yeah. Singer Bowser cries foul. Yeah. I mean, listen. Take control of your city. Take control of your state. Like, you know, these mayors and governors have the audacity to come out and say that they speak for the people in their districts and their areas and their state city, but they don't. They could care less. All they want to do is posture with these crazy criminal reform rules, and then also give, you know, money to illegals and tax the heck out of the residents of the area. That's all they're doing. They're not doing anything to fix the problems. And then when somebody actually comes in and says, all right, well, now I'm going to fix it, then it's, you know, then it's racist. It's not legal. How dare you, you know, and all this other kind of stuff. But we shall see how it's going to go, I guess.
You want to take on the next one?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, here you go.
All right. So coming to you from USA Today, gunman and CDC shooting blame depression on COVID vaccine. The gunman who opened fire on the headquarters of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, killing a police officer and rocking the medical research community, believed he suffered depression linked to the COVID-19 vaccine. Patrick Joseph White, 30 years old, who was found dead after police say he opened fire August 8th on CDC buildings near Emory University, had fixated on the COVID-19 vaccine and believed it caused him to become depressed and suicidal. So he was very unsettled, and he was very deeply believed that vaccines hurt him and were hurting other people. Nancy Holst, a neighbor who lived near White, told the Atlantic Journal-Constitution he emphatically believed that. The Georgia Borough investigation, which is heading the investigation into the shooting, declined to comment on the possible motive. Authorities say White opened fire outside the CDC headquarters in downtown Atlanta, striking at least 4 buildings. DeKalb County police officer David Rose, a veteran who graduated from the police academy in the spring, was fatally shot while responding to the shootings. White's body was found on the 2nd floor of a building across the street from the CDC campus. It remained unclear whether he was shot by law enforcement or whether his wounds were self-inflicted. The Georgia Borough investigation and its inquiry into the killings would, quote, take an extended period of time. Oh, goodness. Another thing that's just getting way out of control. But yeah, he was shooting from a 2nd floor of a CVS that was across the street, while CVS shoppers were around listening to the shots and, you know, praying that they weren't next, which is insane. The victim, the one that passed, was police officer David Rose. He was a Marine veteran. He is a Marine, with 2 children and a pregnant wife. So we send thoughts and prayers to his family. There was some protests that erupted after all of this. There a lot of CDC employees and former employees that were protesting against what they call the rhetoric coming out of the Trump administration. Dr. Anna Yusuf said Secretary Kennedy likened CDC to a Nazi death camp. He has accused CDC workers of deliberately harming people. He has spread disinformation about the vaccine and told people that the vaccine causes harms and that it does not cause, saying it's his fault and the Trump administration rhetoric for the shooting. She also said he, meaning RFK Jr., needs to publicly denounce the vilification of federal workers and CDC specifically.
Wow. Hey, Biddy, we got a shout out here. Funkmaster General has been gifting a lot of YouTube Roman Nation memberships out there, and I just want to shout him out and say thank you so very much, Funkmaster General.
Yes, thank you so much, Funk, for all your support. It's absolutely insane. Thank you for that. Yeah, so I know Secretary Kennedy, he actually put out a statement on X. We're deeply saddened by the tragic shooting at CDC's Atlantic campus that took the life of Officer David Rose. We stand with his wife and 3 children, the entire CDC family. We know how shaken our public health colleagues feel today. No one should face violence while working to protect the health of others. We are actively supporting CDC staff on the ground and across the agency. Public health workers show up every day with purpose, even in moments of grief and uncertainty. We honor their service. We stand with them, and we remain united in our mission to protect and improve the health of every American. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that there should be a fine line between pointing out the shortcomings or, you know, different things that go on as far as like vaccine pushes and not telling people, you know, what possible side effects could be in them, and, you know, recommending mandates on things that do have side effects? Do you think there should be a fine line between, you know, the way that you present it to the public, or do you think it's kind of like he's speaking for everyone that already kind of feels this way?
I think there's a lot of resentment out there against the medical community, against the CDC specifically, because, you know, we went through 2 years of hell that were, you know, the COVID mandates. Mm-hmm. A lot of this stuff being driven by recommendations from the CDC that more people thought about it, the more people dove into their common sense. There's like, this makes no damn sense. So I think there's a lot of resentment out there. I mean, apparently in this case, that resentment boiled over into violence, which is unfortunate. And the guy self-deleted himself because we'll probably never really truly know what motivated this stuff. You know, I've got a theory that, you know, sometimes these mass shooting situations are honestly demonic. And the reason why so many of these things end with the perpetrator self-deleting is because, well, you know, the vessel has to die so the demon can be released to go possess somebody else. That's my kind of type theory on that sort of thing.
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, you know, you got to think about this in a spiritual sense. I mean, when somebody just kind of can just hurt another person. I mean, you know, people want, like, when it goes into like a court setting, when the person's still around and, you know, they're trying to figure out whether or not they're mentally impaired or they have some kind of mental instability versus if they're in the right state of mind. It's like, I always thought that was insane. It's like, obviously whoever could harm another human being in any way, shape or form, you're not in the right mental state of mind.
Right.
You know, and there's definitely something spiritual going on where people just have total disregard these days for human life,
right,
in general. But, you know, this guy obviously was very angry. I mean, his neighbors said that he spoke to her constantly over a period of time, you know, about how he felt about the vaccines and different things like that. But I mean, should we not say what is actually going on in the Center for Disease Control because we fear that just one person will come out of the woodwork and, you know, do something like this? I mean, we're kind of already there. We've opened the can of worms by, you know, allowing this to go on for so long. So unfortunately, we're going to have stuff like this happen. And unfortunately, a life was lost. But I don't think that means we should stop pointing out, you know, what these agencies have been doing.
One thing about this story you notice that hasn't come out yet, we haven't seen a statement from the FBI saying, yeah, this guy was on our radar.
That is true, because that's usually a thing that comes out, which usually pisses me off.
I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, there's a meme, you know, with the Simpsons, you know, hey Bart, say the thing. And it's like, you know, hey FBI, say the thing. He was on our radar.
Yep.
Speaking of being on our radar. Yeah, horrible segue, I know.
No, good.
This comes at you from Communist News Network, World Desk. Europeans fear being a footnote in history as Putin looks to strike a deal with Trump. I mean, hell, they should have seen that coming. Look at who Trump is. Moving on. Not for the first time, European capitals are gripped with apprehension that Russian President Vladimir Putin will surgically divide the transatlantic alliance as well as get everything he wants in Ukraine. At the suddenly announced summit in Alaska on Friday between Putin and U.S. President Donald J. Trump, one European diplomat who declined to be named as they were not authorized to speak on record because they never frickin' are, told CNN, we're at risk of being a footnote in history. Well, you know, Europe, you've been on your way to that for a long damn time. In part, European fears are just down to how little is known about the Kremlin has proposed in order to halt the fighting in Ukraine. Putin has given no details. U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff has said nothing after his meeting with the Russian leader last Wednesday. Trump himself said after Witkoff left Moscow, it's very complicated. We're going to get some back. We're going to get some switched. There will be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both. Okay, I'm going to check my notes over here. This story's getting a little long. And hopefully, hey, y'all know there's a new version of Chat GPT out. It's 5.0. Yeah, if you're paying for GPT, you're getting 5.0 now. It was hella fat. It was hella fast pushing out the outline. I'm just making sure. Now, this is actually my first time actually reading the story and not depending on the outline. Yeah, fire the producer, right? Let's see. European Commission over NATO influence, transform policy appears to favor direct nation or multilateral institutions. Critics argue because it could destabilize balance of power in Europe, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I don't see anything out of line. You know, hey, good job, Chat GPT assistant. Because I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure the AI is spying on me. Pretty sure.
Oh yeah, they're spying on us all. But yeah, so I mean, so this basically means that Ukraine having to concede some territory to Russia is on the table as far as in Trump's mind. I mean, the European Union and the areas, they've given like hundreds of billions of dollars to the Ukrainian war effort against Russia. And I think that they thought that was, that was like in the beginning where Trump was saying we weren't going to send any more money over to Ukraine and we were trying to get it stopped. And then they kind of swooped in, and gave even more money and pledged, money over 10 years and different things like from the UK. And they probably thought that was going to be a huge turning point, that they were going to, give the Ukraine the leg up that they needed maybe, and that they were going to be known as the ones that saved everything. But that's just not the case, because all that keeps on happening is it just keeps escalating. Ukraine gets more resources, Russia escalates it. It's just going to keep going and going and going, even with sanctions being threatened on Russia. Like, it's not stopping. So are you guys just want to keep it going until something really bad happens?
Here's my theory, how Trump got Putin to come to the table is like the last time they talked, or anyway, Trump let it be known through the envoy. Listen, we tried to stay completely out of it. You wouldn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went ahead and we went all in to back Ukraine, and we can keep backing Ukraine for however long, whatever, and we can keep ratcheting up the pressure on sanctions on you for however long.
Mm-hmm.
Make a fucking deal. And I think that's why they've come to the table.
That's good. I mean, I hope so. The only problem is that there's going to be a deal made. I don't know if we can indefinitely strong arm Russia. So there has to be some kind of deal made. There has to be some concessions on both sides. I mean, Ukraine, Zelensky, he made a post on social media. We will not allow this second attempt to partition Ukraine, knowing Russia, where there is a second, there will be a third. That is why we stand firm on clear Ukrainian positions. We must end the war with a dignified peace based on a clear and reliable security architecture. Our partners are ready to help us. So if that's part of the negotiation, that's going to be rough. I don't think Zelensky's going to move on conceding any kind of territory, and that seems to be a big ask from Russia.
Well, the gist of that article is that because the European NATO leaders are scared that they're being left out of any talks of any deal, but at the end of the day, they're irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. You're just a bunch of sugar daddies. Sorry. That's basically all you were good for. Because
all they're good for now is to be intermediaries for us to pass equipment to Ukraine through.
Mm-hmm.
And, I guess Raytheon and Boeing and all those guys came out tits up on the deal, or on the deal. But it's wrong expression. There's a similar turn of phrase that means the complete opposite of tits up, but that's what I meant.
No, but I mean, that's the whole thing is like, I feel like in the back end of all of this, the people that are still pushing for this to continue and for Ukraine to not, for the war to not like calm down, to just like kind of keep, this conflict going until Russia finally says, fine, whatever you want. They're pandering to these people, like these warmongers, the military industrial complex, these companies that make a ton of money off of war. I mean, it just kind of seems like that. It seems like your slip is showing. Like you got like you're there's no idea of like how we're gonna get this to end. It's just kind of like keep pounding at them in hopes that Russia says, all right, fine, too much, I can't take it anymore. Whatever you want, which I don't think is ever gonna happen. So we'll see.
All righty, I guess we'll go ahead and pull up the next one if you want to go ahead and take it.
Sure.
CBS News.
Yep. All right. So CBS News, and we got explosions at U.S. Steel. Clairton plant kills at least 1, injures 10. 1's still missing, officials say. At least 1 person has died. 1 person remains unaccounted for, and at least 10 people have been injured following multiple explosions at the U.S. Steel Clairton plant on Monday. First responders were alerted to the incident just before 11 a.m. this morning. At an afternoon press conference, officials said a search and rescue operation remains active to locate the lone unaccounted for employee. Officials believe they know the location of the person, but are not 100% sure because, there was an explosion. There's a lot of rubble and everything, And that was from Scott Bucizzo, I believe. Bucazzo. Executive Vice President and Chief Manufacturing Officer at U.S. Steel. Sources relayed to KDKA-TV that the explosions occurred inside the reversing room of the 1315 battery. The room acts as a mechanical regulator, making sure the coal bakes evenly in the oven. The plant has since been stabilized. There were multiple secondary explosions reported. Allegheny County Police later confirmed. UPMC officials confirmed to KDKA-TV that they have received 3 patients at UPMC Mercy Hospital. So that gentleman, the executive vice president, chief manufacturing officer, Scott Bucazzo from U.S. Steel, he said, our employees did a great job of making sure that we went in and rescued everybody that was involved, safely shut down all of the gases and utilities, and the plant is stable, but it's still an active investigation. Chief of the Allegheny County Department said there was the first 911 call was at about 10:51 a.m. About 20 EMS agencies, about 14 fire departments have assisted. The fire marshal's office is they're investigating the origin and the cause. So, we're still waiting on that to find out how this all started. There were 2 unaccounted for individuals. 1 was rescued and transported to the hospital. The Allegheny County Health Department issued a PSA. They said they advised residents within 1 mile of the plant to remain indoors, close all windows and doors, set HVAC systems to recirculate, and avoid activities that draw in outside air, such as exhaust fans. The Allegheny County Health Department air quality monitors have not detected a rise in PM 2.5 or sulfur dioxide above federal standards. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see, how this all got started. They're still investigating. It's still an open investigation.
And it could be that, they were doing everything right, but, just the, Murphy's Law, tolerance stacking, whatever, the wrong thing happened at just the wrong time for everything to be just right, to make everything go boom.
Right.
So,
I mean, these guys and gals, whoever that work in these plants, I mean, gosh, it's got to be scary though. I mean, when you're working by these these high pressure machinery and whatnot that can have this kind of like accident happen. You know, even if it's like 1 in a million, you know, there's always that one time. But, you know, sending prayers to all of them there. Hopefully they find out because I know, I mean, obviously what they really want to do is investigate the origin and, you know, how it got started. So that way they can prevent it from happening again, to put some security measures in place, you know, whatever they have to do with the machinery, if they have to kind of overhaul something.
Oops.
But yeah, this is sad to hear.
There we go. Just checking out the comment section. No, I don't think the article said anything about the FBI being called in, or did it?
I don't know. That might have been from the last story. I can't tell, but I don't think so. It didn't say because that would imply that there's some kind of like, you know, malfeasance going on, like somebody, you know, sabotage.
I mean, I'm sure OSHA will go in there and do an investigation, try to figure out what the heck happened. I'm sure insurance companies will have their own investigation, and and I'm sure if the insurance agencies find anything that they think is, you know, criminal, they'll definitely refer everything they have to the FBI, because, you know, it's the insurance company's best interest at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, exactly. They get out of that liability zone. But, you know, it's good. It's good to have as many investigations on this as possible, because we don't want this to happen again, here or anywhere else. So that must have been so scary. And again, you know, I mean, this goes without saying, of course, but just sending prayers over to the families of the one that passed away, and you know, the ones that are in the hospital and, you know, getting the care that they need. But yeah. But we got some crazy weather going on around the country.
Not so crazy. I mean, we are at the beginning of the hurricane season, so I guess this is going to be one of those, let's get it out of the way now so we're not talking about it every other week, even though we probably will be, depending on how bad it is or whatever.
Yeah.
Reason why I picked this particular one is because it's now Tropical Storm Erin, and Erin is a friend of the channel, a frequent contributor. I mean, she's won a lot of captionnesses.
Yes. Yes.
So Erin, if you're watching, this one's in honor of you. Coming at you from the Weather Channel, Tropical Storm Erin forms in the Atlantic. Here's the latest. Let's see. Let's play a little bit, just see how long this is.
We now have Tropical Storm Erin in the Atlantic. It went right from Invest 97L to Tropical Storm Erin.
Yeah,
that sound is turned all the way up, and I'm not hearing
Island. Moving
Can
westbound
you hear
at
anything?
20 miles per hour, continuing to move in that general direction. That is what's expected. There's the official sort of projected path. The cone here showing you moving westbound, and notice the wind speeds going up. In fact, by the time we get to the weekend, we could be talking 150 mile per hour hurricane. Fortunately, at least for now, it looks like stays north of the islands of the Eastern Caribbean, but a very powerful system nonetheless that we're going to be tracking.
The state penitentiary when a line moved through.
Okay, so that's a different video, I guess.
Oh boy.
I couldn't hear it. I don't know what's going on, but if you could, let's see. Fifth name storm of the Atlantic hurricane season is formed. Tropical Storm Erin formed Monday morning, is becoming better organized. It seems unlikely at this point that the storm will have a direct impact on the Caribbean and Eastern U.S. However, the storm should be monitored for any changes. Keep in mind, if there's any direct impacts, the storm could still bring indirect impacts like rain and rip currents. Overview. Tropical Storm Erin is just west of the Cabo Verde Islands and will track general westward a direction much of this week. There's forecast to gradually intensify and could become a hurricane later this week, far from land in the central Atlantic. Mentioned buds, there's westward.
They had some storms that kind of like dissipated just recently now, and then Erin is kind of like on her way to fill the void.
Yeah, let me check my notes. Winds currently sustained at 50 miles an hour. Forecast models show uncertainty in trajectory. Yeah, I mean,
it's hurricane season in Florida.
Yeah, it's hurricane season, so keep your weather channel on. Keep your weather radio handy.
The people in Florida, they know. A lot of my family lives there. They take out the windows. They put the storm windows on. They fix whatever they fix and make sure their generator's juiced up and all of that. We still need to hope that everything goes well there, but they're like Olympians when it comes to dealing with hurricanes.
Doug says hurricanes are a diversion from the Epstein files.
Don't give them any ideas.
You know what, Doug? Yes, they are. Because you know how sick I am of having to produce Epstein file material 3 out of 4 nights a week on this channel. I'm tired of hearing about it, and I'm tired of having to report about it. So, yeah, I welcome the distraction. Thank you. Yeah, you called me out. Yeah, I got distracted.
Check it out. What did he say? Oh, I'm so dead. But yeah, all right. So, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, like I said, Florida, they really know how to deal with stuff like this. Like when hurricanes hit in other areas, when we had Hurricane Sandy in New York, it crushed us because we just don't know how to deal with that kind of stuff. And it was a big one, but they usually do. But, hopefully their hurricane season is light. There's no, bad ones like they've had in the past, and they can get through it well. But is it that time yet? Are we ready for the palate cleanser?
We are ready for I don't know how much of a palate cleanser this is going to be because the caption was inspired by FAFO Friday.
Nice.
So, it's kind of, you ask for it, you get it. But anyway, here we go with tonight's edition. The caption is. Dang it. I thought I hit there. There it is.
Hey. What is that, like laser tag when everybody's glowing like that?
Yeah.
So if you're new, this is a game that we play at the end of every Sunset Rants episode, and it's called Caption This, obviously. We have an AI generated photo, and we ask you, the audience, to please give us some great and funny captions. And then at the end, Brian and I will vote on the best one, the funniest one.
Okay. Yep. Rebel says, yep. Black lights. Yes. Thank you, Rebel. Thank you, Rebel.
I don't know.
I just want to point out the number of, let's be honest, unattractive women, Pats.
No, you didn't say
Unattractive, androgynous women. The blue hair. Come on, think about it. Think about it. Oh, Hardy. Bitty.
Girls are easy. I have the YouTube chat up.
I'll swap over here.
Earth girls are easy. Yeah.
Earth girls are easy.
That's great. This is definitely a photo of the protesters. It actually looks like real people. I see who has been in the woods eating the radioactive wasps.
Pat and her sister Pat doing LST. Dude, where's my pronouns?
If only the pants were like really up over the belly button, that would have been it.
Yeah.
That's great. Rebel says, when blue hair and a septum ring isn't quite enough to identify our politics, go one step more with Black Light Clown. You too can be loud and proud. Oh.
You know,
good.
Rebel, I love your comment, but that's too much to put on a t-shirt.
Yeah, it is great. That's like the perfect advertisement, though.
Yeah. Dude, where's my pronouns is pretty damn good. I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's a good one.
Dang. We went through this quick.
Yeah, we did.
Doug says, flashback Pats. You're so good. God, Hardy, you just topped yourself.
Wait a minute. My whole computer is shaking. You're so good. You probably think this song is about you. Oh. That's it. You broke Brian. I think that's good. That's good.
Oh, that's the winner. That's the winner. Capture this over.
I'm telling you that's good. Oh my god, my glasses are fogging. I can't wait to see some of these on shirts, bro. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so that's what we're going with. We're going with Hardy's.
I don't think that can be topped. I don't think anyone can top that one.
I don't know. I don't see it.
I just don't see it.
One's too good.
It's too fucking good.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, we got a bunch of people saying that's good. That was the one.
Let's see. How do I pin that fucking comment?
Tell me, why am I still drinking coffee when it's almost 10 o'clock at night? What section is the voting in for the caption this on Discord? Well, we vote for it here. We have an AI dump where if you're in the Discord, if you're a member of the Discord, you can actually submit some AI generated photos that might be used on the show. I know we're coming up with a plan. Like, we got to organize it about how we're going to vote on the winner.
Yeah, I've got the first quarter selection narrowed down. The only problem is we don't in our Discord, we don't have a good way to do a poll. So I'm just trying to figure out how to
get it together where, like, yeah, everybody can participate.
Where everyone can, yeah. I still haven't I haven't sussed that piece out yet.
We might have to pick the brain of some of our tech geniuses that are a part of the crew see if there's anything that we can do there. I mean, we may just be able to like post it and then have people do like a 20 on the one that they like or something.
Yeah, it might be something that easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, usually the easiest is the best.
Mm-hmm. But we'll let you guys know. We'll keep you posted when that does happen. So that way, if you are in the Discord already, you can go over there and, vote. And if you're not, hopefully you can join. And you can do that by going to the Q&R code at the top of the screen there. That'll bring you right to our website, riseinmiddleamerica.com, where you can join the Discord right there, top right-hand corner, the little Discord button. You could also see all of our shows there, all of our latest episodes. You can meet all our hosts. You can go get our merch. It's the best way to support the channel. That's all of our hosts there from all the different shows. Yeah.
And yeah.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see who wins that first one because, again, not only will it become caption this t-shirt with the caption that you submitted, but, you're also going to get some extra goodies for winning. So I'm excited to see who that ends up being. But yeah, that's one of the ones that from our midday rush days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you guys don't know, before we started Roma Nation, we actually, before AK did, we used to do a show called Midday Rush. You can actually find it on YouTube if you want to see some of our old episodes.
Yeah.
We had a great time.
Yeah, we're still kind of filling things out, trying to figure things out, which to be honest, we're still growing, we're still figuring things out. And it's and we appreciate everyone that is joining the ride with us. So I hope I hope we keep turning out quality content that's worth your time. And that's my goal every day when I sit down and I try to figure out, okay, what are the hosts going to talk about tonight? What are we going to rant about tonight? And I want to make sure I find stuff that's going to be worth the audience's time to listen to. So anyway, hopefully I accomplished that tonight.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, and I love it too because I don't know a lot about all of this stuff, and it gives me an opportunity to learn when I do, go and do my research and take notes and try to figure out how laws work in different areas and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Right. But yeah, like Brian said, we thank you guys so much for your love and support. We won't stop saying it because it's absolutely amazing. All of you guys that come and watch the show religiously, Doug, Funkmaster, General Hardy, all of you guys.
Congratulations, Hardy, by the way.
For the win. Yeah, I'm like, wait, did I miss it? Yeah. Congratulations, Hardy, Rick, all of you guys. You guys are really, really awesome. Love seeing you in the chat every time and chilling with you and all of that. It's really great. So, yeah, I mean, it's Monday. We got through Monday. I hope you all had a wonderful Monday. The day is over. We're heading into Taco Tuesday. So if you're a taco lover, tomorrow's your day. Yeah, you can find me on X if you want to give me a follow, Elizabitty213A. You can find Brian on X as well, Brian Tidwell1, or the Get Off My Lawn guy. That's how I look him up. It pops him up every time. And of course, you can follow the show, the Real Roma _AK. That's on X. You can give us a follow on Rumble, Roma Nation, all one word. You can also find our Sunset Rants channel on Rumble as well. Follow us on YouTube, and share the show with your friends because we're trying to build the community, build the network. So if you can share with just like each one of you, just share with one person, that would be awesome. But yeah. Do you have anything else, Brian?
I said my piece. I'm gonna do the thing where I click the button that says end stream.
Have a
That's
great
just-
night, you guys.
Have a great night, y'all.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.